Hey, you ever wondered who'd win in a fight between a guy who can kick really hard and a guy who can punch really hard? Thonolan, the Kickmaster, versus Steve Herman, codenamed Shatterhand. I'm Baron Karza, and I'm here to answer the question you never fucking asked. The theme for this matchup is as simple gets. Both characters are from obscure as hell NES games, and they are polar opposites. Bonland is from a fantasy world, and he mainly uses kicks and magic, while Steve is from a sci-fi world and uses his fist and occasionally some technology. It's a neat little contrast. So in terms of backstory, Faunaland doesn't really have much. In fact, in game, all we know is that while just wandering through the land, Faunaland and his brother must are just running through the forest, and they're attacked by skeletons. And Faunaland's brother just dies, but before dying, Macron, the brother's name, tells Faunaland that only his amazing kicking skills can save the princess, or some shit like that. The manual does, however, flesh out the backstory a little bit more, and it says that Thonolan is the youngest man to ever earn the title of Kickmaster. Instead of joining the king's knights like his brother Macron, he stayed with the ancient master Tazdan to learn even more, until one day Macron arrived mostly dead, bearing a horrible tale. The king and queen have been assassinated, Princess Sylphie was kidnapped, and all of his fellow knights were just dead. The evil wizard Belzed had attacked their land of Lorel with his army of half-man creatures. Now, Faunalan is pretty much their only hope. He must leave immediately to rescue Sylphie from Belzed's hideout and return her to the throne. But he is only one man against hundreds. He'll face the mighty witch Druilla, pitting his magic against hers. Then he'll face Wolf Rider and the Wing Leader, Archfiend summoned by Belzed's sorcery. Will the skills of will skills Faunalan spent his lifetime developing save Lorel or even his own life? As Dan says, to learn the ending, one must play the game. So that's pretty much it for backstory. He's an NES character from a platformer. What the hell did you expect? Last of Us Part. Last of Us? No. No, you're not getting anything. That's all you get.
Ho, 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 it's magic, you know.
Funland has various kicking techniques. His primary one being the high kick, which is directed to the head of the opponent. He can follow this up with a roundhouse. He also has the sweep kick, your typical leg sweep. He has the vertical kick, which he can use to kick enemies above him. If he's in the air, he can perform a knee drop, which basically makes him move down to the ground and attack any enemies below him. He has the sliding kick, which allows him to slide across the ground. He has the flying kick, which allows him to zoom through the air, and it's really fun to use against multiple enemies. He has the double butterfly kick, which it's basically the spinning bird kick, just spin in the air while kicking. And he also has the blazing flip kick, which is, well, a flip kick, of course, and it's one of his strongest moves. Besides martial arts, Faunalan has several magical items. He has the bouncing bulb, which can summon an orb that'll float near Faunalan, and when he commands it to, the orb will shoot a projectile that can bounce off walls. He has the Life Up 1, which can heal a decent amount of Faunalan's health. He has magic boots, which allows him to walk across spiked surfaces. He has the twin power, which creates a double, which is idle, and it will usually and it functions as a way to distract enemies. Enemies will start targeting the double. He also has an item called question mark, and I have no idea what this thing does. I haven't found out its function while playing the game, and I haven't found any playthroughs that use them. For all I know, it can wipe out all life in another universe, but right now it's just it does nothing. Faunalan has the lightning, which summons a spirit above him that will shoot lightning around that will shoot down lightning around Thonolan, dealing heavy damage to any enemy caught in it. There's also the earthquake, which causes an earthquake, of course, that can freeze all enemies. He has the pulse wave, which creates an orb that floats around Thonolan. When he commands it to, the orb will shoot a powerful wave of energy. He has the whip lightning, which is a full screen attack, and it just shoots lightning all over the screen. He has the Harpy's flight, which allows Thonolan to fly, albeit not that well. He has the Force Shield, which protects enemy Thonolan from enemy fire. However, it won't protect him from physical attacks, melee. And he has the Life Up 2, which grants Thonolan immense health. It heals him a lot. In terms of strength, the highest thing I could find that you could attach a number to is Thonolan shattering the rocks with a single kick. Now, this should be worth about 0.024 tons of TNT, enough to destroy a small building. In terms of durability, the highest I could find is 0.158 tons of TNT. For speed, Thonolan has been able to dodge lightning, so all around, Thonolan's got some pretty good stats on him. I don't think I'm capable of just telling Steve Herman's backstory in a way that's interesting or fun or even in a way that looks cool. So I'm just gonna let Derek from Stop Skeletons from Fighting summarize the plot of Shatterhand.
You are Steve Herman, a highly decorated police officer from the Bronx. When our hero has his hands amputated after a near-fatal run-in with some metal commandos, he is approached by the Law and Order Regulatory Division, aka LORD, and is given a pair of cybernetic hands, the strongest hands in the world. His enemy, General Gus Grover, the leader of Metal Command, an army of cyborg soldiers, is bent on world domination. To protect his true identity, Herman is given the codename Shatterhand. His mission is to, quote, crush the rebellion with his bare hands.
For weapons, Steve has his previously mentioned cybernetically enhanced arms. But besides this gives him stuff like superhuman strength and even allows him to deflect bullets. He can also obtain what are called satellite robots, and he can get these through punching crates and collecting free letters that can be found in these crates. After getting a specific order, he will obtain a different robot. The robots are as follows: the Yogobot, which fires an energy ball that orbits around the robot; the Laserbot, which fires a laser beam; the Swordbot, which swings a sword; the Ricobot, that fires a ball that ricochets; the Grenadebot, which fires a grenade; the Pyrobot, which has a flamethrower; the Yo-Yo-Bot, not the Yo-Yo-Bot, that's different, which throws a ball that retracts like a yo-yo. And finally, there's the Bounce Ball, which fires a ball that bounces upwards. And here's the thing: if Steve collects two of the same combination of letters, he will get an armor that will basically make him invulnerable for 15 seconds and even gives him a powerful short-range projectile. However, the timer will go down faster every time Steve takes a hit. Besides that, he has a power-up which restores his health, and another one that doubles the power of his punches. Okay, so in terms of feats, Steve can react to gunfire and even punch bullets out of the air. In terms of durability, he's able to tank having large rocks fall on him, having a yield at about 24,000 joules of energy. Joules of energy in terms of kinetic energy. In terms of strength, he's able to pulverize a giant pillar of metal, with the high ball being estimated to be about 2.1 tons of TNT. And mind you, he has a power-up that doubles his strength, so he can so he should be able to give an output at about 4 tons of TNT. This was not a difficult fight to pick a winner. Yes, Steve is so much stronger than Thonolan that he could probably one-shot him with a punch. But Thonolan could also one-shot Steve. And you may think, oh, shouldn't Steve be as tough as he is strong? And to that I say, no. You see, only Steve's arms are made of metal. The rest is all squishy human parts. So he's not as durable as he is strong. So the fight becomes a who strikes first type deal. Steve can react to gunfire, and Thonolan can react to lightning. I don't think there's much competition on who's faster. Thonolan is much faster. Steve could potentially keep Thonolan on his toes with his satellite robots, but the force shield protects Thonolan from most of the things the robots can throw at him. The armor won't save Steve either, since Thonolan can use the earthquake to immobilize him until the timer runs out. So in the end, I guess Thonolan kicks Shatterhand's ass. The winner is Thonolan. Well, that's it for my video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I'm grateful you took the time to just sit for me rambling about 2 characters you've never heard of. Until next time, I hope you have a nice day.